On Sunday, October 4th, 1998, a former classmate of mine, Jessica Elise Edwards, was murdered.
Well, the end of the rain brought with it the discovery of a woman whose body was found yesterday. Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to a body found in a ditch.
Her naked body was discovered in a ditch roughly 30 hours later. We attended the same middle school, F.K. White, but went our separate ways for high school. Little did I know I would never see her again. She was 14. Her accused killer was 16-year-old Walter West, who also attended F.K. White at the same time. He's ineligible for parole until 2027. It has been over 20 years, and I'm still no closer to understanding why her life ended so abruptly. I knew the only way I would ever get answers for Jessica would be to travel back to Lake Charles. No matter what, the world needs to hear her story. And I knew I was the only one who would tell it.
I seem to remember that he wasn't the best person in the world, even at a very young age. I wasn't, and some people, they don't have any remorse. It's just how they are. For me, I've always tend to be more concerned about the victims because I've seen all the destruction and devastation and hurt that the victims' families have to deal with, in these situations. Any loved one that dies by any reason is traumatic and difficult, but when another person takes a person's life, especially when there's no justification for it, it's very, very hard thing for these families to accept and deal with and get through.
That was my first conversation with Jennings Sheriff Ramby Cormier, a former Louisiana State Police detective with the Violent Crimes Task Force. He has been in law enforcement for nearly 30 years. I was surprised, with all the homicides he worked in Lake Charles, that he remembered Jessica's. In an attempt to compartmentalize, a Violent Crimes Task Force was created in early 1994. Jessica was not a close friend of mine, but we did share many classes in middle school. She was unique to me in that she was the first girl to ever dance with me to a slow song.
Her heart. She wanted to be loved. I could see it in her.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes, definitely. She needed love.
Incredibly, both of her grandparents on her mother's side lived to be in their 90s. When I first began work on this documentary, I searched Jessica's name on the internet. I became very saddened that the only information is her obituary. There is not one picture of her, merely a low-resolution still of her gravestone. If, for nothing else, I believe this story to be a cautionary tale for young girls. I was hoping I could get answers from the people who were affected by this murder. Amazingly, most of them still live in Lake Charles. Jessica Elise Edwards, or Jessie, as she was known to the ones closest to her, was born the day before Halloween in 1983.
And I could just hear my grandma always saying her name, Jessie.
Well, that was the thing I found out when I started talking to family members. Is, I mean, I called her Jessica because I knew her from school, but everybody
called her Jessie. Yeah. Jessie.
When she was real little, 3 years after she was, when she was born, well, I seen her quite often then, but after that, I only seen her 3 or 4 times, probably.
Her mother was Charlotte Chapman and her father Roderick, but everyone called him Roddy. Jessica did not have an easy life. Her parents divorced when she was young, forcing her and Charlotte to move from place to place in and around Lake Charles.
Like when they split up, we didn't hardly see Aunt Charlotte anymore because, we're on Uncle Roddy's side of the family, and Jessie would go to Mama's house. So she was, like, whenever they split her, week to week.
Every other weekend.
Like she said.
Every other weekend.
I didn't know the arrangement, but I can remember Jessie being at Mama's, and she would, play and stuff. But Uncle Roddy would come and bring her and just,
play with her, have McDonald's, but basically she stayed at Mama's, every other weekend, and go to church every other Sunday.
She was probably 13, maybe something like that, 14. I'd seen her a couple of times in that age area, and she seemed pretty nice,
Did you ever meet Charlotte?
Yeah, I knew Charlotte. Yeah.
I guess I have the same question. What did you think about
Well, I guess she was a good mother, after Roddy and her split up, I never did see her no more. And last time I seen her was the day of the funeral. I never seen her no more.
The same was true of Walter West's upbringing, who never met his own father. Jessica also struggled with her weight, something that deeply affected her self-esteem.
She liked to eat. Jessie liked to eat.
Yes, she did.
She liked to eat. Yeah, I remember her. She loves being outside all the time.
She was
the grass.
so sweet.
Yes, she was.
She was a force to be reckoned with. She was younger. My mom. My mom they used to call her Little Precious because she was spoiled. She was spoiled. Her grandma, her mom spoiled her. Of course, that's her only child, and Roddy's mama, her mom, spoiled her bad. I mean, you'd have thought that was her only grandchild, and so she was a little brat, and she did a little sassy with you. But when she came into my life and everything, we just kind of, I don't know how, we just, it didn't take us long to form this relationship, and she used to call me Queen Sister. I would never forget it. And if she would get sassy, I would tell her, hey, that's enough, Jessica Elise.
Even though Walter and a friend named James Lee Braxton had raped her on the night of September 28th, she still maintained a friendship with them. This was confirmed by a letter recovered from a pair of jeans found by police in Jessica's room once her mother reported her missing.
Would it be fair to describe her as kind of naive?
Yes. Mm.
I don't remember that much,
Well, when you have a father that, she was, I'm sure she saw how he treated her mama and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what you expect from someone, and so that's what she would get, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know.
James Lee Braxton, known to his friends as J-Dog, was born July 24, 1975. After serving time for raping Jessica, he was released, but had to register as a sex offender. For her murder, however, he was referred to by the Lake Charles American Press as an unindicted defendant. His account was believed by police over Walter's.
The information that he gave was pretty factual, and it was verified, and I think that's why they went with him. He just wanted to lie when it came to his participation. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be a part of it.
Walter and James blamed each other, but both admitted being present at the time of her death. James claimed that he was afraid of Walter. Walter said the same about James.
I never knew they even knew each other.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't.
I mean, they weren't friends for really that long, but
I didn't know they, because when it would be times when they both would be at my house at the same time. Like Walter would be on the inside, James would be on the out. They never talked to each other other than saying hey and bye. That was it. They never spoke to each other while they was at my house. I didn't even know they knew each other.
So by the same token, they're like they didn't ever argue or anything like that.
No, I didn't know they knew each other.
Whenever you got attacked in Walter's home, did Walter ever say anything to James about like James was telling him to stop and he threatened to kick James out of his house? Did any of that?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
I did read the report where James said it, but I don't remember that happening because James held me down.
They both regretted their involvement with one another, yet hung out, according to Walter's neighbor, every day from 2 to 10:30. Walter Allen West was born May 8, 1982.
My impression of Walter was a very cold person. He did not relate well with people older than him, or especially with people in authority. But Walter was probably one of the coldest souls that I had ever interviewed with or came into contact in my police career.
His mother is Thelma Vidal. From the first moment I spoke with her, she stated emphatically her son did not kill Jessica.
No, because this is what I want to know. You're doing a documentary on her.
Yes.
So in this documentary, my son is going to still be referred to as the guy, the murderer that killed her. But he didn't kill Jessica. He took that blame. He was 16 years old. He was set up. I'm not going to let anybody sit there and discourage the name anymore. I put Jessica under for nobody.
He was set up.
He did not kill Jessica.
He
knew Jessica. And I knew he knew Jessica.
He was set up by who?
You know, who the hell do you think he was set up by? Think about it. Jessica's white and made her black. Somebody was going to do that damn crime. He didn't kill Jessica. If he'd have killed her, he would have never. He only took that damn rap because that other sucker told him to shut up. He had a better story to tell.
Okay. I'm just a little bit confused. So are you saying the police was involved, or the police were involved? Or are you saying that James?
Everybody was involved up in that. I'm not stupid. That's come. I'm not even worried about it. His freaking ass lawyer that he had was sorry, and he knew damn well to tell my son to take that rap that he was going to get less of time was not right.
Yeah.
He knew that he had money for an attorney. They knew that child was 16 goddamn years old, and they gave him all that time. But that's good. I'm not even worried about it anymore because I know who God is, and I know at that gate, everybody who had anything to do with it, they got the answer for it.
Yeah, well, in my research, I know that there was someone else present when Jessica was killed, and he was never formally charged with anything relating to. What's that? I'm sorry.
But Peter won't be the best killer, and he lied. He had my son speak, and made my son say that's not.